Thank you, Madam Chair. Allow me to join those who congratulated the Brazilian government for this excellent initiative, and I would like to add that it has a global importance. I'm coming from Southeastern Europe, from Balkans, and we remember very well the words of famous Paulo Freire, talking about oppression and saying that oppression we can find everywhere. It has different forms. So in many parts of the world we face racism, xenophobia, nationalism, and different kinds of oppression. Therefore, this initiative has really a global importance. Many of the things that were said are really of crucial importance. The necessity to have good data. And I have to say, I admire the policy that was created for this important initiative. The initiative to create to work on the SDG 18 and so on. But I would like to highlight an aspect that is, I believe, crucial for the implementation of these great plans, and that's education. And then I would say education and really lifelong learning, and learning for all, because if it's not really inclusive, including everyone, no matter what age, gender, race, and so on, we will not reach the transformation in the society that we want. First, let me highlight the aspects of children and youth education and school education. So, of course, the necessity of funding is something that we don't need to talk more about. I would also add necessity of teacher training, and I would like to draw your attention to a very good project that was developed by Brazilian Campaign for the Right to Education, supported by Action Aid and the Latin American Campaign for Right to Education, together with the several Brazilian organizations who are working with Black women, indigenous women, and so on. The name of the project is SETA project, and it's intersectional, which is, I think, very important, and it aims education system for anti-racist transformation, recognizing the systemic and structural racism that affects Brazilian public education. And the SETA project promotes the voices and agency and leadership of Black, indigenous, and Quilombola groups and people. So it's kind of a very good practice from civil society that could help to create a model of institutionalized anti-racist education. You can find it online, SETA project, so please take a look. But on the other hand, what I would like to highlight is also the need for education of adults. Adults, people who are parents, grandparents, teachers, neighbors. So they are around those children that we need to educate in this spirit of anti-racism in the schools, but it's also in the term of creating a literate environment. They are everywhere. Those are the people who create policies. Those are the people who implemented them. Those are the people who raise those children. So we need first to start with literacy. And again, I'm coming back to Paulo Freire. I don't literacy as a skill to read and write, but as a critical thinking, understanding the oppression, and enabling, empowering people to fight against this. And I would like to give a kind of a warning when we talk about this creation of literacy environment. What we see these days is a tendency to do this anti-racism and anti-xenophobic education in a performative way. Dealing with the language, or let's teach people which names they should use and which names they should not use when they talk about certain groups. Or let's create a diversity, inclusion, equality in department and set some data, some numbers and targets. Which is fine, but this is only the starting point. It remains only performative, it remains very shallow. We see it in the big companies. What was mentioned here was the green gentrification, a kind of greenwashing. We have this DIE washing. Oh, let's do the Department for Diversity, Inclusion, Equality, and the problem is solved. Here in this building, in the past few days, we heard several people starting the speeches with, I'm coming from the place, we live on the territory of indigenous people, we are grateful for them, they allow us. No, they did not allow you to live in this territory. We know how it happened. And let's not pretend that it's enough to recognize that you live on the territory of indigenous people. Let's see how these people live today. Let's see what the state, what the governmental society is doing for full integration and for eradication of systemic, structural problems, which include class very much, which is quite a lot ignored today. So let's go back to the main idea of human rights and equality of people and adopt this performative style of might be the first step, but by far not enough. So this is something that I would suggest to include in adult learning education, formal, non-formal, and informal. If you don't include it all, it will